Hey there YouTube, Vinny here with another edition of Cap of the Week, and this week we'll go into one of the older designs, the San Diego Padres brown cap. And this is actually a treat for me because this is one of my newest caps in my collection, and actually just found it in mint condition, so it worked out really well. But if you think of the Padres now, they seem to have a problem with what is their identity. They're changing their caps constantly. They're generally always going through a navy blue phase, but for older fans or for those who love the retro uniforms that Tony Gwynn, Goose Gossage, Dave Winfield wore, it was always yellow and brown. I mean, that was their identity. Those were their colors. And so the Padres have had some unique designs over the years. They had a bell-like cap that would go over the front two panels. That one's really hard to find, so unfortunately I don't have that. But this is their last design that they made in the 80s before phasing out the brown and going into the navy blue era in 1991. So this is a circa 1987-1988 San Diego Padres cap, and this is made by New Era. And since this is before 1991-92, there is no MLB Batman logo, so this is the cap they wore on the field. And you'll see the SD logo. It's still a standard logo that they use now. It's just the different colors, but it's the stitching itself is pretty flat. And New Era caps before 1997, they used to have flat embroidery, and now it's raised. So that's probably the difference now. But when you flip it over, you'll see how different the caps were back then. And so the first thing you'll notice is the Kelly Green underbrim. So these are the caps they used to wear back in the day. What's awesome now is, I couldn't believe when I found this, is that these caps in the 80s were made with leather. And so I believe the Padres and the White Sox are the last two teams to wear leather, and this was in the late 80s before it was phased out. And some players did request leather bands, and so did umpires, well into the next decade or two. So, but these were the standard caps that were issued to the team. So I don't have any information if this is game issued. My guess is no, because the way I bought from the seller, it was just a new cap without tags. But this is the leather that they use, and then these are the tags that are from the late 80s Diamond Collection, New Era, Pro Model, Made in USA. I'm assuming it's 100% wool, size 7, and so you have nothing inside other than the leather. And so this was a pretty nice treat to find a cap of this quality, never been worn, something that's in my size, that I could wear. The bill, surprisingly, for being 28 years old at least, is pretty good shape right now. It's flexible, hasn't broken, knock on wood. So these are great caps if you can find them. They also have a little liner here for sweat protection that they added, and they even added this on other caps that weren't made of leather sweatbands. But when I think of the Padres, like old school, I do think of those brown caps, and I'm hoping that the Padres bring back these brown caps. How many teams do you know in baseball that use a shade of blue, whether it be royal blue or navy blue? I mean, they had something going with the brown, and unfortunately they decided to go a different direction. But it'd be pretty cool if they brought back the brown colored, and especially if they brought back the Taco Bell era caps. And there's a great site, Ballcap blog, that has information on those caps, so check it out. But it's definitely an interesting cap from back in the day, and here's your cap of the week. Take care, guys.